recap what we have discussed, right? So when you're trying to close your files, make sure that you are closing the active projects before you close the resource pool. Point number 2 is if the project is open, that is a sharer project is open, project will alert you and it opens up the resource pool in read-only mode. Okay, so this is what I told you. So naturally the resource pool will be opened in read-only mode. But if the resource pool is open first, projects gives you 3 different options. Whether you want to open it in read-only, read-write, or do you want to open the other projects along with it. So this is something which you need to remember when you are trying to work on resource pools. One of the purposes of using a resource pool is when you are trying to work on programs. Okay, so as you know, project is ideally a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result, right? But there are many companies who execute programs. So programs are ideally a collection of related projects where you try to share resources or they have a very common objective. So when you have a program which has multiple projects that are interconnected with each other, and they might want to share the same set of resources across multiple projects, this feature of resource pool could be quite useful. The second option is when you are working on programs or portfolios. Portfolios are a set of programs, projects that may not be related with each other, but they are executed to satisfy some strategic objectives. And the main purpose of having a portfolio is to have a top-down view of the health of all the programs and portfolios and the operational work that is being executed. So if you want to have a top-down approach about all the projects, all the programs and portfolios that is coming under you, naturally you might want to have multiple projects as a part of a single file. Okay, so this is the last one which I'm going to have. How do I do it? So the approach is quite simple. So the first step is you just need to have your blank project. So let me close my project now. So you just go to the file, new blank project. So this is the same way we have been doing it for managing a single project, but you now just need to visualize that you are trying to manage a program. So let's assume that the feasibility study and the implementation projects are 2 projects that are coming under this program. So naturally, each of these projects will be managed by different project managers, but they would be reporting to you in terms of their status and in terms of any issues or cross dependencies between them. So you ideally need to oversee the entire operation of all these projects that are coming under you. So the first step is on this blank project, go to the project tab. You have a button called sub-project. The moment you select sub-project, and I'll just go to the file. So these are the 2 projects that are coming under you. So I'm just going to select the feasibility project first, and I'm going to say insert. So the moment you would say insert, a new task gets added. So though it looks like a very simple task, when you try to expand, it automatically says that this file is using some resource pool. Do you want to open it? Yes, very well, yes, I'll say yes to it. So naturally the resource pool file is also getting opened. Now you can see that the first row, okay, you can see that there is the project icon being displayed. Let me do a mouse over on top of it. Carefully read through that tooltip. It says this inserted project is embedded from so-and-so location. Okay, which means that it is being embedded. Okay, it is being embedded into the current file. So once you have embedded into this current file, you can also see that you have some duplication of row numbers. So it might look like a duplicate, but just understand that these activities are not part of this program, but these activities are part of the feasibility project. So though it might look like duplicate numbers, the 1 to 7 is not part of my active project, but it is part of my feasibility study. So you have only one activity here called feasibility project. So the second project what I'm going to insert is the implementation project. Let me say implementation. You can see that the other project is also opened. Now these are the 2 projects that are coming under this program. So the benefit you have is you will be able to see how these resources are shared across multiple projects. You will also be able to use this resource pool, whether the resources are optimized and shared to the maximum extent. Also, you can create some cross dependencies because generally a program is a collection of related projects. Naturally, there will be some dependencies between these projects. For example, after developing a preliminary budget, you wanted to get an approval, okay? So naturally, row number 5 of the first project is connected to the row number 6 of the second project. So naturally, this is a cross dependency. So you can select the row number 5 and you can just drag it and you can just drop it on top of my budget approval. You can see that there is a link that automatically appears that connects these two activities. You can also observe for row number 7, the predecessor now has 3 activities. The 4 and 5 refers to within the implementation project, whereas the last one is coming from a different project. You can see that it comes from a different file. Okay, so the point you need to remember is you should not change the file location because now you have connected one project to another project. It is assumed that you will be not changing the file name or the location of the file name when you're doing it. Good. Now we have connected these two projects, okay? And let me save this file. And let me say this is the I'm just going to save it. And the moment you save it, it says, do you want to save the changes to the feasibility study because I have created a relationship between these activities? I will say yes. Do you want to save the changes to implementation? I will say yes. Updating the resource pool to the open projects. So I'll say yes. Okay. So I have updated my resource pool and the individual projects also. Now let me close these files. Okay. Now, when you try to open the study program, right, what actually happens is these two projects that are linked are also getting opened. So since there's a resource pool, you get this AIM alert, I'll say open. Okay. Now, when you try to update the duration of the first activity from 3 days to, let's say, 5 days, okay, you can see that that project, the other activities and the project is getting updated. And now let me save it. So the moment you save it, you can see that the feasibility project is getting updated. The reason is naturally you have only linked this project to other projects. So you can also see, since we have a resource pool, that there are certain activities that are getting overloaded. Okay, but as a program manager, okay, you need to ask, do you have the authority to change the duration estimates or the schedule of the individual projects? If the answer is yes, naturally you can edit these values. But if the answer is no, maybe you should not edit these values, or these two files which you are trying to open within this program should only be in read-only mode. So in Microsoft Project, when you try to link a project or after linking it, you can double click those projects and you can go to the Advanced tab. You have an option here saying that this feasibility project should be read-only, okay? And I will also say the implementation project should also be read-only. So when it is read-only, you will not be able to edit it, okay? Okay, when you try to see, I hope you're able to see there is an alert. It says that this read-only file is embedded. So when you try to save it, okay, now sorry. Yeah, it says an error has encountered. Do you want to save it? It's okay. So naturally, you are able to see that when that particular project is in read-only mode, naturally you will not be able to make the changes. So now let me say yes to all. Okay. So when you wanted to save it, naturally it is asking you to save it as a separate file, which means those projects will not get updated. So that is a benefit of having it in a read-only mode. Okay. Fine. Okay. The second benefit you have when you're having a program is naturally programs are interrelated with each other, right? The projects are interconnected. So you might want to look at the critical path of my program or the project individually. If I want to look at the critical path of the project, you can go to the view and the format and say I want to look at my critical path. Okay. So in this program, if you look at it, it looks as if that you have only one critical path, because though you might say it is wrong, because for this project I have a different critical path, but for the first project I have a totally different critical paths. But Microsoft project tries to look at this as one single project rather than two different projects. So you might want to change the options in Microsoft project such that it allows you to calculate multiple critical paths. So you need to go to the File tab and select Options. You go to the Advanced tab. On the Advanced, you have a section called Calculation Options. On the Calculation Options, you can say Calculate Multiple Critical Paths. Remember, this option is quite good when you have multiple activities like this, right? It could be within the same project or within the inserted project. Now you're able to see there are two critical paths that are there as a part of this program. Okay, so this will help you as a program manager. So remember the same rule what I gave you as an example for program can even be applied for a portfolio or even for a project. So in this example, I assume that you are a program manager managing two projects, feasibility and implementation. Let's assume that you are a project manager who is having two sub-projects, feasibility and implementation. So you just need to follow the same steps. For example, if you are a portfolio manager, the portfolio manager might try to have more sub-projects under him or more programs or portfolios under him. And naturally, the only difference is they may not try to have any relation, but you can still understand the impact of these projects that is having on the complete project or the portfolio. Good. So now let me go back. Okay. So since it is in read only, I will just say no to all. Okay. I'll just turn off this read only. Okay. Another point which you need to remember is by default when you try to use this project sub-project, right, I use this insert option. Remember, when you insert a sub-project, you always have an option to insert it in read-write mode or insert it in read-only also. For example, when you are trying to insert it, right, after you have inserted, naturally it will be linked to a particular location. For example, at a later point in time, you decide that I don't want it to be managed as sub-projects or programs. There are no projects manager and I am managing everything. You can just double-click the parent and you can just say, I need to unlink it. Remember, when you unlink it, what happens is you are trying to break the relationship with that file. So naturally, that file and this will not be in sync. So when I say OK and say yes, we're able to see this acts like a summary activity now, and you can see that the row numbers are automatically getting ordered. So when you try to update it, naturally the feasibility subproject will not get updated because I have unlinked it from the file. Okay. So these are the points which you need to remember when you are trying to work on a resource pool. So point number one, create a blank project, and this will be your master project. So you can also say this could be a program or this could be a portfolio also. And select the row where you want to insert the project, sub-project or program or portfolio. And in the project tab, choose the sub-project button. I said that when you are trying to use this option, you can insert it in read-write or read-only mode. Remember, any changes you make to your master project will get automatically updated. So this statement assumes that the inserted projects are not in read-only mode. And finally, to avoid changes to the sub-project, turn on the read-only option on your advanced tab. Okay, so I have a few announcements here before we take